No one is sharing this about the year of the dragon, because this freaking year, the year of the dragon actually gives us not only a roadmap of how to manifest the thing that we've been working on for years, how to get to supreme success with what we've been trying to manifest for so freaking long. He also shares with us the 6 stages that we can expect to go through on our journey of manifesting our heart's deepest freaking desires. Hey friends, I am Cara Elizabeth. I'm the author, illustrator, and creator of Animal Apothecary card deck, sold everywhere and on Amazon. I am the authority on how to get into your power through using the wisdom of the animal kingdom and the technology within our own bodies. But without further ado, let's get to it. Let's talk about dragon and why this year is so profoundly powerful for actually achieving, actualizing, manifesting your heart's deepest desire. Okay, so let's just talk about dragon for a second. There's Western dragon who's, is working out of ego and selfishness and hoarding. We hear these fables of the dragon capturing the fair maiden and the hero's journey to go get it, and not to mention the dragon sleeping on an entire bed of gold. So it's this kind of shadowy, more, I'm keeping it all for myself. Whereas the Chinese dragon is so freaking cool and all about not only just the embodiment of abundance, but sharing that abundance with others. Chinese dragon is benevolent, is kind, is here to actually assist on your journey of manifesting your heart's deepest desires. And Chinese dragon is also about really standing and claiming your authority with whatever gifts it is that you have to share. Now, my studying of dragon actually comes from one of the biggest influences in creating Animal Apothecary, which is the I Ching, the Chinese Book of Changes. It is a 1,000-year-old divination system that is really heavily influenced by Taoism and the study of nature and watching how nature comes into its own success, and therefore reflecting back on our journey towards success. And often it's, you read people through flipping, tossing coins, and there's either, how they land, and they come to these things called hexagrams. So if you're like, what? These little lines right here, these are the hexagrams. And for those of you who are into human design is totally influenced by the I Ching. It's just like they're totally together. So if you're into human design, you can thank the I Ching for that. All right, so the first hexagram, I'm gonna show you. This is the first hexagram, these 6 lines. This is very masculine. These lines are very masculine. And the story, and obviously this is my understanding and interpretation from doing lots of studying of other people's interpretations and inspirations. So this is the story within the first hexagram, and it is one of the most auspicious hexagrams. And just like in my card deck, because it is influenced by that, it's one of the most auspicious cards to receive. And you can see these 6 dragons. It says, action leads to success. Now the story here is that this is where they teach. This is where the dragons are actually, so listen up, because this is how it's gonna go down for this thing that you wanna manifest. So first and foremost, the dragons speak to us about coming from our heart, a pure intention of the thing that we want to manifest. And that if we come, number one, we have to come from a pure intention of the gift we want to share, the love we want to create and make, or the family we want to have, or whatever it is for you. there is this importance in it being from your heart. Now, don't get me wrong. Ego is wrapped up in all the things that I always want to do that are coming from pure intention. So that, it can be normal, but just know that on the deepest part of you, there is something that is like, this is my heart's yearning, the deepest desire that is like, it just feels so right inside of me when I think about it. So that's number one. Number two is all you have to do is take action. All you have to do is take action toward this thing. And the dragons, pure heart, take action. Every day, work on it a little. Just, you have to take action towards this thing. And then it is said that 6 dragons will lead you on a chariot towards success, towards supreme freaking success. And I have a story about this that actually relates to this hexagram with the story of the 6 cards. When I was first creating Animal Apothecary and I didn't believe in myself at freaking all and had like the lowest self-worth and just so filled with shame, I remember, and it was like, it was the very freaking beginning of creating this deck. This deck took like 3 years or something or more to create. In the very beginning, I rolled my coins and I went to the I Ching to ask about it. And the way that they landed, which is very hard to get all these straight lines, I got it. And this message that kept coming back to me throughout the entire journey of creating Animal Apothecary was just take action, and something outside of me is going to line this up to make it all work out. So, I work on this for years, and then I decide, okay, I don't want to self-publish. I want to get a publishing deal, a book deal for my deck. And how the heck do I do that? You need an agent. The agent then gets you the publisher. So you have to write a book proposal to start submitting to agents. And it took me, and I worked so hard, it took like 6 or 7 months for me to work on, after completing the entire deck and the guidebook, and then to work on the book proposal. And the day I freaking finished, my book proposal, and I had to just wrap up some things in that morning before I went to work, I go to work, and who walks in but Gabby freaking Bernstein. Gabby Bernstein walks in, and not only had I mentioned her in my book proposal, so I told her that, and I just was like, it's such an honor to meet you. And then I just whipped out, I always had my cards on me, and I was like, pull a card. She apparently resonated so much with that reading that she was like, email me your book proposal and I'm going to send it to Hay House Publishing. Anyways, Hay House got interested in me, and I didn't even have an agent yet. So whatever, I ended up getting the freaking book deal with Hay House. But this is what I'm trying to share, this story. The point of the story is that I just took the action. And every time I got in my head about how is this going to work out, I have no idea, like this and all the things, like life lined it up perfectly. I took the action. I created the deck. I made the book proposal. And the day that I finished the book proposal was when I aligned with the perfect freaking person to open the door to that opportunity. So thank you so much, Gabby Bernstein. You're freaking awesome. But like, look at how that lines up, because I just took the action. So, again, we're just going to keep reiterating these. You're coming from your heart about this thing that you really want to create, that feels like your heart's deepest desire. 1, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 with the dragons is you got to take action. You just have to take action, 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 action. And do not, and understand that the forces outside of you, these guides outside of you, are going to align you to the right person or the right circumstance at the right time to help give fruition to this thing that is your heart's deepest desire. But you have to take the action. 3, the dragons say, do not look for immediate reward. Do not look for immediate reward, because there is something about the rooting and the grounding and the stabilizing of, so say you're like this acorn and you want to hurry up and become the oak tree. So you do a little bit of rooting, but not so much, and you come up, you sprout up, and the first wind that comes knocks you right over. But the acorn who, broke out of its shell and it allowed itself to really root deeply and deeply and took the time to come into its fullest state, a hurricane now comes and nothing can knock that oak tree down. So these are the three things that this year we are so embodied in the consciousness of dragon, and like, oh my God, thank you to, just the wisdom of the Chinese culture sharing and really like putting these animals in the forefront to give us energy this year, every single year. And dragon is just such it's auspicious. This year is auspicious for you to finally manifest those things that you've been working on for quite some time. Okay, so come from the heart, take action, keep taking action, and do not look for immediate reward. It's really important, again, because that do not look for immediate reward connects back to that egoic desire of I need it now, I need to see the proof. Okay, what else the 6 dragons in the first hexagram share is that you will understand the process of how this thing will come into manifestation by looking at the next 6 hexagrams and to meditate and to study these. And what I did with my card deck was I actually made the first card decks mirror these hexagrams through the animals in my own interpretation and own understanding. So we have this, right? Action, don't look for immediate reward, come from your heart. That's one. What's the second one? And remember I said this is very masculine energy. This is divine masculine energy. And I love this so much because there's so much crap out there that just throws so much garbage on men. And I love anything that exalts anyone, right? Let's uplift. So I love that this is all about the divine masculine because, we can see in the Western dragon, that's the shadowy kind of masculine. But this year is about really honoring and uplifting and seeing those beautiful virtues. That divine masculine actually wants to take action from the heart, not the ego, from the heart. So the second hexagram, and in my deck, the second card is the feminine receptive energy. So we have Sea Otter right here, who is teaching us about this feminine reception. So first and foremost, along with this taking action, you have to give up complete control of how this is going to go down. You have to give up complete control and just allowing yourself to open up to like, what is it? What life? What do you want me to do? I'm here to be your tool. I'm here to be your vessel. I'm here to be your channel. What do you want me to do? So, the other thing about this card, because Sea Otter has its stomach open to the sky with who knows what's going on below. And if you've ever had a pet, like a cat or a dog, and they open their stomach to you to pet, that means that animal feels really safe and comfortable with you. So that analogy of you're safe to trust that you're being protected. You're safe to trust that life is actually aligning and guiding you on this journey of manifesting this thing, but you don't need to have all the control over how this is going. You don't actually have any, it's not about you controlling how this is. As long as you do your due diligence, you take those actions, you make those moves, something is in alignment. And that is where the divine masculine and the divine feminine collide like the egg and the sperm to give birth to this thing, okay? So this is about embodying, both of these divine feminine and the divine masculine within your freaking body. So in this, then there's the next 4 cards are sharing kind of like what you can expect on this journey. So the 3rd card is about evolve into your complexity. And if we were to look at kind of like how a plant grows, let's go back to that acorn analogy. This is the moment where the acorn rips open and the sprouting and the rooting start to happen. But it's coming out of this kind of this something that isn't easy, right? It's like ripping open. And, you know, think of the octopus, how it has like almost like supernatural powers. They are the master shapeshifter, the master escape artist. They can become a form and like look like any creature, mimic them and change their shape. They can escape any scientist who's had them encaged. They're always escaping. There's these studies on their psychic abilities and their clairvoyance. You know, there's if they put their tentacles onto a rock or onto any surface, they not only can change the color of their skin, but the texture of their skin. And all of these things that have come about with, you know, these really incredible qualities of the octopus is because it had to go through these hardships. It had to save its life. So it learned and evolved into having these like amazing characteristics. So this goes the same for our aura. Our aura is what's able to hold, it's our magnetic field. And it is the thing that attracts or deflects or, you know, pushes away things and people or brings them in. And we want our aura to be able to hold this level of success that we're working on this year. And see, it's almost like when we think of an octopus, they're able to metaphorically juggle all these different things. And this is like your aura, what's happening within your aura as you align yourself to hold this level of success. In the Kundalini yogic world, there's it's specifically in the Rama community, there's this analogy about, you know, someone's who wins $1 million in the lottery and they lose it all in a year is because their aura could not hold that level of success. So this breaking open those moments of challenges, or really what we want to see them, their opportunities, those moments of those things that we in the moment feel are difficult or even a block, are actually the thing breaking open the shell, breaking open the acorn shell to then become a bigger version of itself, to have a bigger auric field to hold all that success and then juggle all that. Because you don't just want that, I mean, you might, but many of us want that success and the fulfillment, that we're aligned on our destiny path with our career, that we're with our beloved who is our life partner, our best friend, with our friends and family, whatever the things are for you. It's like there's multiple things. So we want to hold that space for all those things. Now, the next thing we can expect, which is the 4th hexagram or the 4th card. So the hexagram goes by this thing called youthful folly. It's this idea that there's this naivete, this naiveness of kind of not really, you know, on the journey of becoming that version of us. There's some kind of immaturity of like not really knowing how it's going to go down or how it's going to be. So like, say there's this kid, he everything in his heart wants to fly. So he jumps off the roof to try to fly and he can't. And then he thinks about it harder and he's like, well, maybe if I make like a parachute out of my blanket. He does it again. He's jumped off something even higher, breaks a leg, whatever, learns these lessons. But then he grows up to be like an engineer for NASA, working on spaceships, going into into space. So there's something about, you might have the way that you kind of like, you might stumble in learning and you might think like, oh, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to be freaking awesome. And you're not yet. And that's okay. And that's just a part of this next level of stepping into this bigger version of you, that like, be okay that like, you're not freaking awesome and perfect at it all. You know, like say you're like, oh, I'm going to make this video and it's going to be great. And then it like doesn't do that great. You know, that's fine. Again, as long as you keep taking action. Oh, okay, I learned this from that thing, or I learned this, and you know, all these things. So you're learning from the things that you maybe thought would work that didn't work. So you can expect that on the journey. The fifth hexagram and my fifth card, it's this nourishment while waiting. Nourishment while you're growing and developing into the boss hawk, right? This is baby hawk. He has his nourishment right there, and he cannot become the boss hawk and if he doesn't nourish himself where he is right now. So what is this about? So this is asking you, you know, think of the future version of yourself. What are they doing that the current baby hawk version of yourself isn't doing right now? And my example with this card is like, I love speaking in front of people. I love being on camera. I love doing workshops, but for a couple years, it was like a whole PTSD meltdown. But anytime, the entire week before I had to do a workshop. And then on stage, I would be so not in the flow because I would be so full of shame and fear. It was just like, it was just the most heartbreaking thing, that the thing I loved to do more than anything was the most debilitating and draining thing ever. Isn't that crazy? So I thought like, well, I know my future self is really good at speaking in public and she feels confident being in front of people and she's in the flow and she's not thinking about how other people are perceiving her. How would I, like, what do I need to do to become that? So I decided to take an improv class, and I live in Brooklyn. I'm in New York City. So obviously all these people, specifically this improv class, was for comedians who probably have these dreams of like going to SNL or something. And I was just like, I want to be able to go on stage and like have no agenda and have no script and just say stuff. I want to be able to be on stage and like not know what I'm doing and be confident in that. And a 2-month like classes, it freaking worked. So what is your future self doing now? And if they're just in shape, then get your butt to the gym or do whatever. Like, you know, whatever it is that they're doing, you're the version of yourself that gets you there. You're the baby hawk that then allows yourself to become the big hawk that has that dream. And then the sixth hexagram, the sixth card, you know, this is all about understanding every challenge you go through. This is inner conflict resolution. That this poisonous snake, that every single challenge you go through are literally the only way to get to victory. So not only is there some kind of medicine in the poison, it is a part of how you get to that victory. So when you are going through 2 months of just constant depression, being like, what the hell is freaking going on? Or when you got let go from the job, or when the relationship didn't work out, it's happening because it's the only way to get to victory. Falcon is victory. This is victory. This is the thing that you're trying to work on and trying to manifest. So these are the 6 kind of stages. So It's this balancing, this union of masculine and feminine, of taking action, but surrendering to life and allowing yourself to trust the unknown, which is like really difficult. But this union, and in this union of the masculine and the feminine is the seed and the sperm colliding to give birth to the thing you want. But what you're going to expect, there's going to be some difficulties, and those are the things that are expanding your aura, that are evolving you to hold this level of success. You're going to blow it sometimes. You're not going to be as good as you think, but those are learning lessons to become as good as you think. You're going to, you're going to want to really think, what is that version of, write a manifesto of who this next version of you is, and then be like, what characteristics do I need to work on? What do I need to do? Maybe it's just cleaning out all the crap in your house. Like maybe that is one of the nourishments to become the thing. You'll figure it out. And then last, the challenges are your freaking gold, that are the only way to get to the victory. So that's awesome. And we're just gonna finish this up with a quick little reading of what Dragon wants to share with us. And we're going to be using, obviously, Animal Apothecary and my new card deck that is all about the wisdom and technology that our body wants to share with us. So we're going to pick 3 cards. So just connect to Dragon, connect to what we are manifesting this year, connect to, oh boy, just Dragon and guiding us and helping us manifest any love, any wisdom, any guidance, anything. And then from our body this year on co-creating what our body wants to know with us, co-creating with Dragon. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see what it is. Okay, cool. So, whatever you're scared of this year, it's absolute malarkey. Do not worry. Whatever has been the thing that makes you feel small, the thing that makes you feel like you're not good enough, the thing that is, anything that makes you not feel how powerful you are is not freaking true. And the story in your head that scares you, it's just the illusion. The story is, there's this guy and he's so afraid of shark because he got attacked by a shark as a kid. So he grows up, and on his dates, his very short dates, he brings a harpoon because he's just making sure he's protecting himself. I'm just, protecting myself from shark because I know what can happen if you get attacked by a shark. He goes to the grocery store, he brings the harpoon. He goes into the shower, he brings the harpoon. He looks like a nut because he is. Because he's actually mad. He's crazy because the only shark is the one in his head. And this whole time he thought he was protecting himself. He thought he was preparing, bringing that harpoon on dates. He was nuts. But it's okay. I do this kind of stuff all the time too. So whatever you're scared of, it's not real. Look at Big Hawk. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so 1, you're a light bringer. Deal with it. It's just what it is. Big Hawk, this says focus on the big picture. Get out of your ego, just like Dragon said, and focus on the big picture. Shed light on the thing that is your purpose. B says that you have this gift, you have this purpose, you're meant to share it with humanity. Like, this is not for you to keep on the inside anymore. You are here to share your gift with humanity. Just like bees, they pollinate 80% of the crop that humanity eats. So their gift is a gift of service to humanity. So I would also say, because we just went through that whole spiel with the baby hawk, that one of your things that is important for you right now is this constant focus on the vision, constant focus on the victory, constant focus, because what you focus on, you energize. What you focus on, you become. So this focus on your gift that you are here and you are sharing with the rest of humanity. And I love this. Just trust. So the little mole, he's almost blind, he's almost deaf, he can barely like smell. He just gets by through feeling vibrations on his whiskers. So this is this idea that about this faith without seeing, this blind faith, this trust. And I love it because according to this, where you are, you have rooted, you are the sapling, but are you the oak tree? Are you the rose bush? Are you the all the other thousands of plants out there? Which one are you? We don't know yet. So this is saying just have this faith. And then there's something about really getting grounding in this year. As we speed up so we are the most sophisticated technology, and technology is a mirror of our technology on the inside, right? And as we see this evolution of technology evolving rapidly, it's actually mirroring, right? Like, God made us in its image, that saying. We made tech in our own image. We are the freaking computer. We're the most sophisticated technology. And this evolution in technology is actually a mirror back of the evolution within our own technology in our body. We're unlocking DNA codes. We're connecting to, galactic enterprises or whatever theme you're on, because there's all these different energetic waves of these people who are expanding and opening up. But there's something, as we in this evolution, getting grounded, going back to nature, getting your feet planted, even just feeling your feet. I don't care if you're on the 30th freaking floor of a building in the middle of the city, you feel your feet. That goes right down. Our feet have 72,000 nerve endings, and everything is connected, going back into Mother Earth. Even if you're on the 30th, the 700th floor of a building, keep feeling your feet. Get into the energy of your feet. And when you're out of, because of all this technology, because of all this advancement, there are trillions of thought forms that are just going around. We're scrolling, we're watching on social media, 8 billion people's opinions that really don't know what they're talking about. Even if you align with me and agree with me, I'm just I don't know what's going on. No one really does, but we're just colliding with each other's thought forms. So you want to be in your sovereignty and in it, getting grounded. The message is get freaking grounded. Whatever you can do. This is a hell of a year. It is the turbo speed is going to be on one in even more. And you're, think of the food you're eating, grounding food, nuts, proteins, root, beets, potatoes, whatever. If you need to, hang out with friends that are grounding. This is going to be a good year, my friends. Actually, it's going to be freaking fantastic because you're finally going to manifest the thing that you've been waiting on for who knows how long. Remember, come from your heart, take action every day, and you got to be patient. It's no immediate rewards here, buddy, but we're being led by the dragons, and I love it. I am Cara Elizabeth. I don't know why I say my name at the end because I said it in the beginning, but Animal Apothecary again on Amazon. It's now in Japanese in Japan. Super exciting. Cara Elizabeth Speaks on TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to book a reading, come to a workshop, sign up to figure out when this thing's going to be released at some point. I'm halfway done. Body Tech Deck. CaraElizabethSpeaks.com. All right. I freaking love you guys, and world freaking peace. Later.